This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Season's greetings. I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. The government is investing millions of dollars to improve the level of efficiency in the public service. In July of this year, several contracts were signed for the construction of new facilities, including a new government complex over in Bimini. Tonight, Joan Davis-Roll tells us that officials believe the new complex will lead to more efficient and expanded services on that island.
The tourism and economic landscape of Bimini undergoing a metamorphosis.
It's good to have people come into Bimini to see what we're doing, to encourage us, and to let the Bahamas know that Bimini is alive and things are happening here, and we are excited about what is going on.
In addition to Bimini's bustling economy, in the heart of the island is the site of an historic edifice. The government is constructing a multi-million-dollar government complex. Senior Deputy Administrator Oscar Monroe.
We're very excited about that because again, the population of the island is increasing. The economic activities of the island is increasing by leaps and bounds. And in order to facilitate that, we need to bring in more government agencies. And that building will be able to facilitate all of that.
Like projects of this magnitude, Monroe says it is having its share of challenges. One of the greatest challenges goes deep. An illustration by ZNS cameraman Roger Russell shows the depth contractors have had to go to lay the foundation of the building.
The rock in Bimini is below the surface, so they had to dig down into the sand in order to ensure that you have a sturdy structure. There's been some setback based on the fact that on islands, it is difficult to find all the materials that you need, but there are some things that, some design changes that is being looked into. So that is something that I believe it is needed. So with that, I would not say that it's not on schedule, because at the end of the day, we're going to have a better product.
While the work crew is taking a break for the holiday, construction is expected to resume come 2016, paving the way for the multi-million-dollar government complex here on this northern island. In Bimini, reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Thank you, Joan. An investigation is underway into that alleged incident at the Memories Resort on Christmas Eve. The director and members of the Grand Bahama Youth Choir claim that they were kicked off the property even though they were invited to perform. Tonight, in wake of this incident, an appeal is going out for legislative reform. Joan Davis-Roll has that story.
The Christmas Eve incident involving the general manager of Memories, Gabriel Varela, and the Grand Bahama Youth Choir still under investigation. Artistic Director Kevin Tomlinson still reeling from the episode, stating that his heart goes out to the young members. This is a former choir member also speaks out.
He said, please, stop. We don't want this. Get out of my hotel. I said, get out of your hotel? What kind of tone is that to even be using in the front of children with me and so forth and everything? And I said, what is the problem? Your manager asked me to come here. And he was like, he's not the boss. I am the boss. And I fire him tomorrow. I thought that was a total disrespect to that worker's job security. Because it's like, here it is. The next day would have been Christmas. You're talking about firing a Bahamian on Christmas Day because he invited some children to sing. He invited some children to sing to make your guests happy. That was the example of what is going on there at that hotel. A total disrespect. Not only was the choir disrespected, but it showed the respect he has for staff as well. And I found that deeply offensive, that this type of behavior is not acceptable in the Bahamas. This is my third incident with this hotel on this level.
As I could imagine, because I wasn't at the event at the time, but as I could imagine, you would feel abandonment. Because you came here to do something out of the goodwill, out of your heart, and in exchange you get resentment and you get sent off the property.
While Thomason has heard the cries of persons to deport the manager in question, he believes the situation goes beyond that. He's calling for legislative reform.
We can deport one and import another. It's more important than deportation. We need a policy change. We need a change in the style of administration. We need a change in the style of the way people treat people. That's the bottom line. We could bring in a new one, and the new one could come with the same mentality. We need to make sure that things are... Listen, in China, there are laws that protect the Chinese people. As a foreigner, you cannot go in China and bring any harm to a Chinese. You'll be in prison immediately. So we need to make sure that we have protective mechanisms here in place in the Bahamas to protect our people.
Joan Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
Just hours left now in 2015. Based on tradition, Bahamians will ring in the new year in church, thanking God for his guidance and asking for his blessings in the year ahead. One local pastor says despite the challenges his family has experienced this past year, he is grateful for God's blessings and he plans to say thanks by giving back in a big way. Kimberly Mullings has more.
For some, 2015 was the most challenging year, and Bishop Godfrey Williams of Jubilee Cathedral can attest to that. For him and his family, it all started last December.
My wife was admitted in hospital and indeed had to be airlifted to the U.S. And out of my 34 years of pastoring here in Freeport, Grand Bahama, I spent my first New Year watch night service in ICU at the Rand Memorial Hospital with my wife.
Bishop Williams says it is only fitting to give God thanks for all that he has done, is doing, and about to do in the new year, and has chosen to give back to those who are less fortunate in the community.
I am so grateful to God for sparing our lives to see the end of another year. After all I have experienced with the loss of my son, oldest son, and all of that, in the midst of it all, no trace, have not heard, have not seen from then to now. I'm in the spirit of gratitude.
His son, Elder Laquez Williams, says he and his siblings are grateful for a role model like his father, who is strong in giving back and in facing adversity.
We have that pillar to see in our home, so as a result, there's nothing left for us to do other than help to give back as well too. We see this as a means to soothing what we're going through.
Now after the service, Elder Williams says the congregation will be in for a treat as Jubilee Cathedral will be conducting their fourth major giveaway of the year.
Whether you Valley Boy, whether you Saxons, whether you Bushwhackers, whoever you are, even if you own nothing, listen, come on down here. We're going to have a good rush out here. We're going to have a good time, a giveaway, and listen, you can take whatever you want. There's someone who's going to win a cruise. 2 persons will win a cruise, and you never know. May even be a light bill as well too. So hey, we got some great things we're looking at doing, but come for the fellowship.
This Watch Night service, Bishop Godfrey will speak on the theme for 2016, which is No More Limits.
We're going to be dealing with 10 points of that particular sermon that will bring information, bring edification, revelation, as well as it will encourage people what to expect, because there's going to be a supernatural move of God in every area of our lives.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Now it all goes down at the Jubilee Cathedral during Watch Night service this New Year's Eve at 9:30. Stay with us, there's more after this.